Monday morning quarterback, Denard Robinson.
Denard Robinson, shoelaces flopping in the wind, goes all the way to the end zone. Touchdown, Michigan.
On the Big 1050 WTKA.
And we are back, folks, here on the Michigan Insider on the Big 1050 WTKA, online at thebig1050.com. Sam Webb, Ira Weintraub on the other side, and joining us as he does every single Monday is our Monday morning quarterback, Denard Robinson Shoelace, here with us to break it all down like he does every single week. And this week, Lace, we're breaking down a loss.
Oh, it's a tough one. Good morning, guys. Good morning.
Talking about the Wolverines falling to the USC Trojans. Our Monday morning quarterback is brought to us by our friends at Golden Limousine all across the country. Michigan rides on Golden, and you can too. From Detroit to Ann Arbor and beyond, join the teams, businesses, and communities that trust Golden for safe, professional transportation. Visit goldenlimo.com to book your ride now. So, Lace, bro, yeah.
Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath, fans.
Take a deep breath.
Take a deep breath.
That's what we got to do.
Take a deep breath.
That's what we got to do, man.
Oh, yeah, we got to woosah, just a little something, because this was woo. One of those games, man. You like I went in the game. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna be more physical than them, and I was like, yeah, we're gonna take it to them because the type of team we are. We're a gritty team. We're gonna take it to them, and they did the opposite. It was the opposite. I mean, USC came in and they was the more physical team. Mm-hmm. They were more physical than us, and they it seemed like nothing that happened in the game fazed them because they was ready to go back and throw blows. So you gotta go back to you gotta take your hats off to them. They did their thing, man. They came to play, and we're gonna break down some plays that we seen, and just a deep breath, man.
Yeah. So I spent obviously most of the morning talking about defense because you talk about more physical. They run for 220 plus yards. Just wouldn't expect them to be able to run the football like that. That really, you allow them to be balanced because they're going to be able to throw it some.
Right.
You allow them to be balanced, and you are giving them the kind of two-way go that you just can't allow them to have. Now, you're still, even with that balance, you were surprisingly in the game because you got some turnovers, which brings us to the offense. They weren't able to capitalize as much as you would like for them to have been able to capitalize, Lace. And so let's get into Bryce's performance in this contest, which was up and down.
Yeah. I mean, and see, that's why when you have a young quarterback, this is it's going to be expected. This is expected, and I think some people, we wishful thinking if we thought he was going to be perfect. I mean. You watched like I watched the game and I watched it again last night. What you see is inconsistency in his feet, and that comes with time. I think that's come with time being able to trust his O-line. It come with time with time his throws. Like some throws is a punch plant throw. He had an Okie route that he could have just punch plant and threw it, but he punch plant.
So that was the one where he had Samaj open.
Yep. And it was a 5-yard out. It wasn't anything crazy. And everybody, if you watch Michigan football, he made that throw in his sleep. So it's his feet that made that throw errant. And that's the things that you're gonna see from a young quarterback. Those inconsistent feet and making sure everything times up. Like if you're supposed to take a punch play throw, it's supposed to be a punch play throw. You gotta come out with the ball and beat them with timing. Because a 5-yard out, you really want to. It's all about timing on that. You 5-yard out, 10-yard out, it's all timing. And if you hitch, it messed up the throw. And you can see that it was an errant throw because he hitched and the ball went too far from him. So like those are little things that is growing pains. And we're gonna have to understand that there's gonna be growing pains with him, and he's gonna have these games that and I can't put it's not on him at all. Like I wouldn't say it's all on him, but is some throws that we know he can make, So it's not that we want to bash him or nothing like that. I think it's a fair assessment that say, well, it's inconsistent feet, and those are things that he can easily clean up. It's easy to clean up. It's not hard.
Man, so it feels like the footwork, and this, I guess it's not any revelations is when footwork would show up most, but in the pocket, that's when the feet kind of start dancing a
little bit.
Yes.
You
know,
and that comes with him being able to say, okay, I don't have to look at the rush, I can feel the rush. And once you start getting in that rhythm of feeling the rush, like, okay, I know, okay, this D tackle is gonna probably be in my lap a little bit more than normal because he's a great player. So now, okay, I could feel him. I could just take it. In the pocket, the easiest thing is to do is just take a little side step. And I mean, it helps you out so much. I mean, God could be rushing you full speed and you take one little step. That's why quarterbacks make D linemen look crazy sometimes, because all you have to do is take a little side step and let him go right by, or let your guy get in contact again with him. You know, so just by doing a side step, just stepping up in the pocket, moving the pocket. And I think he got to get familiar with being in the pocket and understanding, okay, I can trust my guys. They're going to stay in front of them, you know. So I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, there was one that he completed to Marlon Klein where he kind of moved to make the throw. And it was almost like, I know you were talking like, why did you were almost talking like, why did he do that?
Yeah, so like he took, it was supposed to be a 3-step drop, hitch, and throw. He took 3-step drop, and then he took 2 steps back, and then he backed up to get the ball off, but he didn't have to do that many steps. But it's okay. It's all growing pains.
I don't know what happened, Mr. Weintraub, but his mic I just lost audio on Denard's mic. All of a sudden, it just went out. It just left. It just left. We might have you. Oh, let's see if we can have you try it again. Give me a test 1, 2. All right, we'll switch you. We'll switch your mic.
All right, here we go.
Do it. Yeah, that works. That one works.
Yeah, this is good, right?
Yeah.
We're good. Y'all
Yeah,
can hear me?
We're good. So, he moved on that play. Marlon got blasted.
Yeah, and that's if he threw that with timing, and here's the funny thing about it: if he stayed in the pocket and threw it, he would have been able to put it on Marlon's left shoulder to get Marlon to turn away from the defender, and he could have got up the field. You gotta just clean it up. But I mean, that happens with him just going to taking time and doing what he need to do and getting familiar with being in the pocket more. I think that's gonna be a big thing for him, just being familiar, being in the pocket and being comfortable with the O-line blocking.
There was a drive route that he threw that you really pointed to where he was in the pocket that you went through where he was like, man, this is see the process. And you were talking about his footwork process. He did everything right.
And now we're gonna praise him on this one. So here's the one we got. It's a shallow coming across. I think it was Samaj coming across, and McCullum was running a curl route. Well, you can see his helmet. His helmet's looking downfield. He's taking his steps, and he comes off and he hangs on his back foot and come back to the curl route and throw it. And I mean, it was a masterpiece, So you're watching him do that, you could tell that he has it in him and he has good timing with his feet and everything. So it's just about being consistently doing it all the time, because that's the route to keep you in front of the sticks. That's the route to keep you going, keep the offense going. I mean, once you keep your feet going right, that's the biggest place. It's feet. I first go head, feet, and if you got that good, everything else is going to be in order. Obviously the throwing, you got to be able to throw the ball, but once you have your head and looking downfield and knowing the process in the defense, and now you got your feet in the right place, because it's all about timing with receivers and quarterbacks. I always tell people all the time, man, if you take the right steps and you're on time with the ball, you gonna always be a good quarterback, because I always look at Cade. Cade was a guy that was always good with timing. His feet was always right, because now he never really had a strong. His arm was not the strongest arm, so he couldn't go out there and throw the ball 80 yards or 70 yards, but he could beat guys with timing, and he'll get the ball out of his hands pretty fast. And that's why we won the Big Ten championship with him, because he was all about timing. You would not see his feet in the wrong place at all. Like most of the time, his feet was doing what he's supposed to have been doing, and his head was in the right place, and he knew where he was going with the ball.
Yeah, man. And so, it's interesting. So they're down, they're trying, they're going on this drive, and they're making running the football. Bryce he's hitting, he's hitting passes. They're going down the field. Of course, they're down, but they got to score. and they get in the red zone.
Right.
And he throws the interception to the field. Right.
Yeah.
Now here's the difference. Now they weren't lined up on the hash, and because remember that play, I can't remember which game it was, but he winds up throwing the ball and McCulley comes down out of bounds. Yep. And I saw somebody say, see, he did it again. It was totally different. Mm-hmm. It was a pass to the field that winds up getting picked off. But you remember on that play that he threw that McCulley came down on, I said, I'm okay with that because look at what Bryce does on that play. He drops back. He's holding the safety.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
He's looking down the middle, like he's being very intentional. Mm-hmm. He's looking down the middle of the field to hold that safety. He likes this matchup.
Yep.
So he probably makes his mind up. I want that matchup. I'm gonna hold this safety. Now I'm gonna go to this matchup.
That was the
make
Oklahoma game you talking about. That was the Oklahoma game. He threw the ball to McCulley. He caught the ball on the side. Yep.
Yeah, and he comes down out of bounds, but he makes a great throw. I think is inbounds, but it was the process that he went through.
Yeah.
Now, Lace, he takes the snap and he looks out there right now. He don't look nowhere else.
Yeah.
He look out there right now and throw it. It was like he made that decision in the huddle. He made that decision as soon as this is where I'm going with the football right now. Like he ain't read nothing. That's where I'm going with the football.
And see, that's when you get in trouble. Exactly when you get in trouble.
That's just the now. That's just. Do I know that? I don't. All I'm saying is that's what you see on R22.
All you have to do is just look at his helmet. His helmet will tell you everything you need to see. I mean, the wing helmet, and I'm pretty sure that's why they came up with the wing helmet. I'm just joking. I'm messing around. But the wing helmet, I'll tell you this much. Rich Rodriguez used to always be like, where are you looking at? You going straight to the target. And so that wing helmet will always be able to, it told you where we were looking. And so one thing about it is, as a quarterback, you cannot go straight to your target. Unless it's a 5-yard, a quick throw, you can't just go straight to the target. You need to hold the safety and then make that throw, make that decision. Because even the DB now,
yeah, McCulley got held up anyway. So
not even the DB. So it's, like when you have those type of plays, you can't. You gotta wait. You gotta hold the safety, man. You gotta protect your guy. Sometimes you gotta protect the guy. Sometimes.
Yeah, he wound up not even being open.
No. I mean, but see, that's the growing pain. And I tell people all the time, it's growing pain. And I think we're gonna be okay. He's gonna be okay. It's just those little things that he's gotta clean up in his game, and that's why I tell people all the time, like when you have a young quarterback, these moments are gonna happen. Mm-hmm. I was once young. I never forget. We played against Iowa my freshman year, and I got thrown in the fire, and we went down and scored. And I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling good about myself. We go down and score. I led a team to go score. Tate Forcier got hurt, and they put me in. It was probably like third or fourth. It was the fourth quarter. I hadn't played all game. It's a night game in Iowa, and I'm like, all right, yeah, go in there. And so now I go back in for the last drive for us to go try to win the game, or try to tie it. I think it was to try to tie the game. And I go in, and I'll never forget that I went in, and I'm looking at the call, and I get the call, but I didn't get the last bit of the signal. And it's just those little details right there that hinder me. Mm-hmm. And that's the same thing for him. It's the little details of, okay, keeping your head down the field, holding the safety, and then making a read. And so when I did that, I did the same thing. I got it in there. We started driving, and I didn't get the safety, didn't get the call, and I thought the guy was running a go route, and I threw the go. He was running a dig. And
how effective were you as a quarterback, and kind of compare your young brain to your old brain?
Yes.
How affected were you by how the game was going? Because clearly, you see, hey man, the defense struggling. Man, they moving up and down the field. We got to score. How effective were you by that?
That's what I'm going to get into. When you're young, I tell people all the time. When I was young, I thought, I'm going to try to score right now. Let's go get a big touchdown. Like I'm going to get 21 points with one touchdown. No, it's only 6 points. So take your time and go slow. You can just grind it down the field, and it's okay. Don't try to take the cheese. And sometimes we get caught up and say, I want to score now. And so we get going. No, you need to take what the defense give you and play within the system. And I think that's as a young quarterback, that's what I would tell Bryce. And that's how it was for me. I was like, hey, I used to think I could score, and Al Borges, he used to always get on me, Denard, you can't get 14 points in one touchdown. All right, just take your time. I'm going to go score. Okay, don't try to go take the cheese and go get the big one. Relax and take your time. Give what the defense give you, and like that's the biggest thing. It's about taking what the defense give you, because now you're gonna actually get those 6 points that you want, and hopefully the kicker makes the field goal. That's what you get. But sometimes we get caught up in it, and you start seeing the game getting away from you a little bit, or you think the game is getting away from you. But in reality, if you got all the time, you got 15 minutes in the quarter, you got time. Just take your time and go get these touchdowns. And I think that's the biggest thing that you got to tell your young quarterback is, hey, we're not going to get 14 points in one touchdown or 21 points. Just let's go get this 6 first, and then go get another 6. The defense going to get us another stop, and let's go get it. And like those are the talks that you got to have with a young quarterback. Hey, our defense going to get a stop for you, okay? They don't get a turnover, all right? Let's go score. Let's make sure we score, and then we'll let the defense do their job, So I think that was the biggest thing for me, and learning that for Al Borges was great for me.
Yeah, so I mean, you got to take lessons from a game like this. Like defensively, I think the takeaway is of all of them, there were a lot, but the biggest one has to be, man, you got to be able to stop the run.
Right.
For him, I mean, there were probably a lot. You talk about footwork that has to continue to work on that one, but to me, I think the biggest one was that play.
Right.
Like, man, so much was right. Wow, on this one play, because they were in position to score.
Yeah.
Man, if you score there, the complexion of the game is different.
A little different, and that's what I'm saying. So you got to take like I said, take what the defense gives you. Don't force it. And go through your reset, especially when you get down to the goal line, because we got a chance to get points regardless. Not saying we want to kick a field goal, but we got a chance to get points. One thing we got to do, we got to be careful with the ball. So now you got to take your time with processing what's going on and what defense they're in, what coverage they're in, what's the hole. Okay, this is where I can go with the ball. I can scramble around a little bit. I don't want to take a sack. Let's go get it in the end zone.
Yeah, man. So they, watching the game, and it sounds like from the commentary standpoint, they kind of focus on this throwing on the run, Lace.
Oh yeah,
like
he's great at it.
Yeah, he is great at it, to the point where I wonder if that's part of getting him in the rhythm, because we were kind of focusing on it a little bit earlier. Even when he's in the pocket, the feet kind of dance a little bit, a little bit. So, I mean, what do you think the process is to kind of getting him settled in the pocket? Is it just about him? Is it just about him kind of thinking about the rush too much? Or is it something about
it's probably getting familiar with the O-line. I think the more he get reps with this O-line, and he could possibly get hit, because you got to think in training camp, he's not getting touched. He's not getting hit. And so now he's getting into the games, and he probably feeling a little pressure sometimes. And it's just like, you got to understand, he got to feel it. He got to understand, like, hey, those guys are blocked up. The ball, remember the ball he threw to Marlon, like those guys was blocked up. They probably got a little bit in his lap, but it wasn't too crazy that he couldn't make the throw and beat him with time and everything be okay. But it's now you getting feel for it, getting understanding. Okay, this guy, the right guard got pushed back a little bit in my lap. It's okay. Let me just step to the left a little bit and let's make that throw. Just little things like that. And I think that's easy. That's easy to be fixed. Long as he's not looking at the rush, because you can tell he's not really looking at it. He's just moving around just a little bit more than we need him to. But those are little things that he can just move just a little, hey, one step and just bang that. You don't need to. He's open. You clear it and just throw it. So I think just the little things like that. And I think don't think too much of it. I think this is something that he could get fixed within a couple games. Like that's not something that I don't think is going to kill him the rest of the season.
Yeah, man. This is great stuff. We need to get to a break. I know there are going to be plenty of questions for Lace throughout this show, so we'll get to it on the other side. There's a great QB draw in this game. I kind of want you to talk about that. They didn't run him as much.
But I told you, in order for us to have success, he has to get more runs.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they did.
I think he had two design runs.
Especially once Justice went out of the game, I was surprised that they didn't incorporate him try to incorporate him in a few more design runs. But we'll get into that on the other side. Stay tuned. More Monday Morning Quarterback with Denard Robinson on the other side here on the Big 1050 WTKA, online at thebig1050.com.
Clear on the radio.
All right. And so Sean D says, wrong. Tackling was the defense needs to focus more on. Jeremy Matthews said, stopping the run wasn't going to change much when we played off on defense and tackle poorly. They neutralized our pressure. You both are wrong. I'm just listen, man. This is where I wish we still did the film studies, because if we did the film studies, it would stop opinions like these from muddying the waters. If you highlight tackling in this game, I'm not saying the poor tackling wasn't an issue, but it blurs the bigger picture. Fitting gap runs has been an issue in every game. But statistics will make you think that the run defense, I mean, statistically, they've been a solid run. They've been a good run defense. But if you focus on the specific issue of fitting gap runs, which they haven't done a good job of, Central Michigan, all those games, it shows up in every game. Guys, whether it's taking on kick-out blocks, it's squeezing the run, taking them on with your proper show, all of those things have shown up time and time again. And so you say tackling was an issue. On the touchdown, dude ran around the kickout block. Wasn't anybody in position to make a tackle. What are you talking about? So if you are going to continue to misfit those runs against the good teams that you play, they are going to exploit your run defense, period. And teams are going to be able to have balance. Like maybe not to the degree that USC did, because not all of them are going to have the, as good a dynamic as they do. But trust and believe, if they don't tighten up their fundamentals and fitting gap runs, like we've talked about week in and week out, Washington will beat them. Now, that doesn't mean that they don't need to focus on tackling too. But the biggest issue that they face is fitting the run. I'm just telling you what we've talked about every single week. Every week, not just this week. It just showed up more this week because it was the best run team that they faced. And talked about it, told you before the game. What did we say? Hey, they got to stop the run. They got to fit counters. Said it specifically. They got to fit counters. And what hit them in this game? Counters. So this is not even in retrospect. All right, yeah. See, people are exactly. Exactly. That sure did. All last week. Exactly. I sure did. So anyway. Lace.
Talk to me. What you got?
Hey, man, this is one of those games where, they are capable of playing someone. It's easy to get caught up in how bad a game was. Mm-hmm. Because
back in 20,
they played so poorly, and this is what I want to pick up on coming up on the other side. They can play so much better.
Yeah,
they can play so much better. Mm-hmm. Like this is the run defense. There's certain parts of what happened on Saturday that can't be better. But there are certain parts of what happened Saturday that can be.
Oh, for sure.
And so that's what we'll focus on when we come back. Mm-hmm.
Monday morning quarterback, Denard Robinson.
Denard Robinson, shoelaces flopping in the wind, goes all the way to the end zone. Touchdown, Michigan.
On the Big 1050 WTKA.
And we are back, folks, here on the Michigan Insider on the Big 1050 WTKA, online at thebig1050.com, here with our Monday morning quarterback, Denard Shoelace Robinson.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Here
sir.
to break it down. We focus mostly on offense here, but we kind of, in the break, sometimes we gotta, but we're here to bring perspective, right?
For sure.
We're here to bring perspective. The Monday Morning Quarterback is brought to you by our friends over at Golden Limousine. Excellence on the road begins with Golden Limousine International. From charter buses for big events to executive travel across the Midwest, we deliver safety, reliability, and sophistication. Discover the possibilities at goldenlimo.com and book right now. So, Lace, listen, because I want to focus on some specific plays. I mean, there was this RPO that, Bryce, he laced it across. I think it was to Marsh, and then the QB draw. I mean, there were some real plays in there. And then that was that 15-play drive. Like, there's some things you're like, hey man, you take that and you build on that. There were some things that you saw defensively. Like, most of what happened in that game was bad. If you fix the things that can be fixed, like the things that you want to do are still in front of you. So that's where I want to pick up. The run defense. That's one thing that you can fix.
Oh, for sure.
Footwork. That's one thing that you can fix. So when you played, Lace, you lost the game. I'm trying to think. So Michigan State, you guys lost that Michigan State game. And there are some things that you could have done better. When you came back in practice after that, what was it like when you could have been better? When man, dude, you didn't get that block. You could have had that last play against Michigan State if you just did your responsibility like you were supposed to do it. You could have had it. What was practice like after that?
Man, it was like I tell people all the time. I look in the mirror first. Like, I don't look at anybody else. I'm looking in the mirror first, and I'm looking at, like, what can I do better? What can I clean my feet up? Can I do an extra throw into the receivers? Can I go watch more film to understand, like, okay, what wasn't clicking? Why wasn't clicking? What happened? And my biggest thing was, okay, let's go back. Let's find all the bad plays first. Let me see all those first, and then let's go find what we did good this weekend. What did we can hang our hat on? And so I'll clean up the mess if my feet was bad in the pocket and I didn't take my time, or the timing of the throws that I was making. Like that was a big thing for me. I like throwing. Coach Borges, I was talking to him last night, and he was like, Denard, one thing about you was great at throwing that curl route. Right after play action, you would fake the ball, and those last two steps you punch and plant and throw it. Or it'll be a post route. I always like the skinny post off the fake. And it'll be H2 skinny, at skinny. And I'm giving it, and then I'm faking it. And that fifth step, I'm banging it. And I know, as long as I held the safety with the play action, and when I got my head around, I'm looking at him. And if he was in the spot that I knew he was at, I'm banging at 8 because I knew my guy was going to win it. So those are the things that I would clean up. And I'll be like, dang, I was off timing because I hitched. Or I didn't make the right throw that I was supposed to make. So those are the things that I say, like, okay, I could clean it up. And that's easy mistakes because my feet was bad. And that's I'm that Monday, I'm practicing on it all the time. I'm on it every day doing it. So coach would be like, man, he said that's one thing I did well. He was like, you at first you was terrible at it, and then he said you worked so much that it became your strength. And because you think I wasn't on the center. I did it in high school, but Rich Rob said the first 2 years here, I'm shotgun. We never got on the center, and then I got back being on the center and understanding if I could beat him with timing. That was my feet. Cleaning up my feet and understanding, okay, you can make that throw on time. But if you don't make it on time, then you have a problem. So those are the things that I think he's gonna have to do this week is let's start working on my timing with my feet. Let's start working on these routes that I need to get out, because if you start having those timing throws, like I think that's what made Tom Brady the GOAT. He was so on time with the ball, and it was his feet that started, his head, feet, and he would be beating guys with just the timing. Like literally, he would get the ball out faster than anybody else because he knew where he was going with the ball. And his feet was always right. He was clean in the pocket. And guess what? The rush never really got to him that many times. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the thing about RPOs is it allows Bryce to be decisive.
Yes.
Right? He makes a decision right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, drop backs.
Nah, you gotta go through the process. And your feet gotta be going through the process with you. And sometimes if you don't let your feet go through the process with you, that's when you have problems. But like we've seen him do it. We seen him go through go to the shallow, to the curl route, and he banged it. You can see his feet going through the process with him. You see his feet, and then the feet, boom, and he went to the curl. It was so cool to see. And so you know he got it.
He got it, right.
So now we got to just do it all the time, you know, make it a routine thing.
So a couple of things that we've talked about did come to fruition in this game. It's like, man, I feel like for weeks, it's like, man, y'all got to get Andrew Marsh in this game.
Hold on. Time out. All right. Look. I gotta give Sam his praise because guess what? He's been talking about Andrew Marsh for at least 3-4 weeks now. And the way Andrew Marsh has showed up in the last 2 games, hats off to you because you was on point with this, man. You called it out. You was dead right, and you was right on. You was on target. You was a sniper with this one, and you can see this kid is going to be special, man.
Yeah, man. And so you get your playmaker a chance to make some plays. Mm-hmm. He's gonna make more plays. I'm not saying he's not gonna make any mistakes. He's a young kid, just like Bryce.
Yeah.
Gonna make some mistakes.
Yes,
making them, but let him play through the mistakes because you're gonna make more plays than mistakes, right?
You got to get it, and you got to jump out there. That's the only way to it is through it. You got to go through it. So whatever storm comes, you got to run through it. Don't run from it. You got to be a bison. I always talk. So I got coached by this dude named Gus Bradley. He's a big North Dakota State bison. So he's always like, you know why bisons are special? I was like, why, coach? He was like, we don't run from the storm. We run through it. And he was like, so his bisons always go through the storm. They don't run from it. They run to it. So it's kind of cool to see that. That's what I think is gonna happen with Andrew Marsh and Bryce. They're running through the storm, and they're not scared of it. And you can see that these guys are stepping up to the challenge. And it's gonna be a little bumps in the road and whatever. The defense did perform well this game. We can't put this all on Bryce. And I would never ever put this all on Bryce because the defense didn't show up, and they didn't show up in this game. I mean, I would say USC showed up and was ready to be physical.
Yeah, and so you mentioned 12 personnel. We saw more 12 personnel with the return of Hogan Hansen in this contest. And so, you know, I think we'll see them incorporate the tight ends more.
Right.
But as the game, you know, the game situation dictated.
It definitely dictated
that, okay, now they got to start throwing more. Once they get 2 scores down, that's not the kind of game they want to play with where Bryce is right now. But I was just surprised they didn't do, because you were saying weeks ago they're going to have to run them more. We kind of got on that a lot. Like they got to run them more. I was surprised that wasn't more a part of this game plan from the jump.
Right.
And certainly once Justice went out, and even when, you know, Bryce kind of, you know, wasn't really as accurate as you wanted to see him be in the throw game, that they didn't start to run him a little more in this contest.
Right. And I think that's that. I mean, like I've been saying for weeks, like he got at least touch the ball 10 times, because now it helps loosen up the defense, because now you have to have a guy in there just for him. And now guess what? That's one less guy in the coverage. That's one less guy that help out in the coverage. There's one less guy that's spot on the running back. There's one less guy. You know, so the more you get him going, the more they're gonna have to respect him as a runner. And I think we gotta just let him run at least like 10. I would say they had a lot of RPOs in the game, but I want like a lot of read option. Like I want you to read the end and let's take off. Let's buck up everybody else and let's get our quarterback running.
Let's see a wide delay. Let's see a wide delay to one of the tight ends.
You get what I'm saying? Like that's what I want. I want to start putting some pressure on this defense a little more with his feet, and I think that's something that I want to see more of. I want to see him run a couple quarterback sweeps, because quarterback sweeps. I want to see him do a little bit more quarterback draws, like, because that's going to be things that could take his game to the next level.
Yeah, it was a well-timed QB draw in this game.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think, give him a couple more.
What I was surprised, because inside zone, they were running inside zone in this game. That was going pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
I could have sworn, I thought we see a few split zones to set up a bluff or two.
Right.
Now they were respecting Bryce in this contest. So it's not like they weren't honoring Bryce on a keep. But man, I would have just got him. I just thought they would get him on the perimeter a couple times, like you said, a quarterback sweep or something.
But
get him out there on a bluff,
right?
With like Brady or somebody coming across, and hey, you gonna have it's gonna give you an option. Either that guy's gonna be a blocker out there, or you could toss it to him. Just something to play with the edge. With Bryce as an option to maybe run out there. I'm just surprised we didn't see that in this game.
Yeah. And I think they're gonna have to put that in part of this next game. And I think I want to see him, like, because this quarterback for Washington is special. So he gonna have to do. I like my whole thing is when I used to play ball, right? I would feel like it's a battle between me and the quarterback across the field. Because I want to outshine him. I want to make sure I beat him. Like whatever we did, I want to make sure I'll duel them. So this quarterback that's coming to town, he's probably one of the best in the college right now as a dual threat quarterback. And watching him against Rutgers, it showed.
Yeah,
like this kid could be special. And so now the kid we got, Bryce Underwood, he could do the same things. So now I want to put him. Let's put him on display this weekend.
Yeah,
let's show him. Be great. Let's because this kid that's coming in is gonna try to do the same thing he's gonna do, and so I want Bryce to outdo him.
Yeah, and look, this is all that would be even if he was. I would say that even if he was playing well in other respects, even if he was playing well in the pocket, doing all the other things you were talking about, I would still say I would want to, throw a bluff or two in there. Because I just think that play is going to be effective with him. But the fact that things weren't going well elsewhere makes me want to try some of that stuff even more. But let's get back to in the pocket. So if it were you, or what were some of the things that you did to get more comfortable, like in season, as you were trying to grow in season?
So, you got to always adjust because like you. As you start learning, when you first get in, you learning like little things and stuff like that. Like you learning plays, right? You learning plays, and now you start learning like, okay, what do he need to work on? What do he need to have stronger hands in the pocket? Do he need to move around in the pocket? So like I used to like having, like right now I would make him do some of the medicine balls. We'll roll the medicine balls and make him move out the way of the medicine ball. Have somebody swiping at the ball while he's moving. Because you got to think about it. If the D-line is around him, he need to have strong hands. So somebody swiping at the ball, he got to have strong hands to move around the pocket. And then coming off of it, and we say, hey, order two. We have like 4 or 5 wide receivers out there. And we'll say, hey, throw it to two, and make sure you get your feet to the target. So if we got 4 receivers out there, we got the medicine balls, we got him moving around, got somebody swiping at the ball, he's gonna have to put his feet to the target and bang it. And those are the little things that he's gonna have to, because now you're getting the feel for the rush, you get the feel for I got my head downfield, and I gotta put my feet to the target to throw it. So if we got 4 receivers, if you make the medicine ball miss, now you can turn and throw the ball to a guy that's to the right or a guy that's all the way far left. So those little things like that, he's gonna have to correct to make himself be comfortable in the pocket and his feet being where they need to be at, and helping on the timing of throws. So now you're like, okay, I got if I got a 10-yard out, I know I don't have to. It's 3 and throw. I don't even have to mess around with my feet. It's just 1, 2, 3, throw.
So we have seen examples of him going 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Right. So you know. He can go through the progressions, which tells me it's more about the rush than anything.
It's more about
the rush. So what I liked from my novice side, because I remember watching as we were watching last week's game, where the protection was, it was up and down. And we saw Chip do things to kind of help the protection. He went a little more quick game and that kind of thing. And I said, maybe they should go a little more max protect to kind of you know, kind of making him feel more. Well, they went max.
They did.
They maxed it up in this game, and then they got a touchdown. They went max protect,
crossing routes,
and he hit him. So to me, I'm like, well, give him a few more of those, because guess what you got now? You got some receivers that they're gonna get open.
But on that play it was a little play action to Marsh, and like those little things right there, when you get the defense to, now the safeties are looking in the backfield, because that's you have to, like I told you, the way to help him out is more play action, and if he put him on the center and play action there more, it's going to be what he is going to clear the picture up for him.
You know, and it's strange. Now tell me if you noticed this, and we might have to watch this on tape.
Right.
His footwork seemed like it seemed like, at least I'm talking about in the pocket, seemed like, and I kind of talk about this with Borges, and I asked Borges this too.
Right.
Seemed like his footwork doesn't seem to be as happy when he's doing play action.
And that's why you got to start helping, because now it's all off timing. Play action make you say, okay, my feet I have to be turning around by this time, or I have to be ready to throw at this time. It's all timing on play action. Once you come off the play action, you got to be able to, it's all timing. But when you do a straight drop back, you got to go through the reads. You got to go through the process. You got to read the defense. You got to see, okay, my feet I got to be looking at the safety, see what they did. Did they split? Did one roll down? What is going on? And so now your feet and eyes got to be helping each other out. And so that's the biggest thing right now is can he do that consistently? Because we've seen him do it. We know he could do it. It's about being consistent.
Well, I would imagine, and you tell me if this was the case with you, that, hey, man, when it's maxed up, you're less concerned about the pressure.
Oh, you're not worried about it. You're like, hey, it's 2 for 2 for 2. It's 2 for everybody. And if they blitz, I got a guy blocking. And, you know, so you're ready for that. So that's the best part about it. You know, I'm not worried about anybody getting here.
Yeah, you know,
I have the wall right here, and they're gonna protect me.
Yeah, your biggest concern is, man, I don't got enough guys out. But I would feel more comfortable now. You know, you got a horse in McCulley,
right?
That you know, you throw him a ball, like when he threw that drive, that's like my guy better than your guy.
Yep.
And he threw it out there, and your guy was better than that guy.
Yeah, they got the curl route and Carter, he was ready to go.
Yeah, you got Marsh, you feeling good about him. You got a tight end. Hey, you got some guys that you feel like, I got 3 guys out there. We gonna be all right.
Yeah, he got some. I mean, now with Marsh in now,
or 2 guys out. Yeah,
he got 2 guys, and now you got Marlon Klein back. He got 3 guys that he can make some noise with now, man. I mean, he can make some noise, and now it's just about being consistent and doing it. You know, I think that's the biggest thing. Can we get him being consistent with his feet and being on time with the targets?
Yeah, man. So, yeah, let's see what they wind up doing as far as that's concerned, man. I was that throw that he threw to McCulley in the corner of the end zone with the you know, you got 2 guys out in route and they both open.
Yeah. They both had to step on the guys.
They both open.
Yeah. But like I told you, the play action is going to be his biggest friend when he does this, because the run game is so deadly. It's always some those guys don't get lost.
And you got 2 guys out and they both get open.
Yeah.
It's like, hey man, if you got that,
we can win with that.
You good with that. You got 2 guys, you max it up, you got 2 guys you feel like can get open consistently. I'm gonna try to call that up a couple more times a game, because my quarterback is feeling comfortable with the protection. My receivers, I feel like are good enough where they're gonna get open a couple times.
Yep. But now you got to add probably just one more guy to the route. So it's just you might have a check down, safe place he can throw it.
Yeah. All right. So here's the thing. You know, as we get into it, if you have questions for Lace, we get to those in overtime. So now let's talk big picture, Lace. This is where we get away from Monday morning quarterback and we talk about leader Lace. We talk about leader Lace.
Oh,
because you were a team leader.
Oh yeah, yes sir.
Y'all just lost a game, and you played. I mean, you didn't just lose the game; you got embarrassed.
Right.
So, if you correct the things that are correctable, because there's a lot when you look at that game. There are certain things that are just going to have to be corrected with personnel. They aren't going to be an overpowering, defensive line. They aren't going to have the overpowered defensive line or offensive line, right?
Yeah.
That's not that personnel.
Right.
They don't have the kind of secondary that they had in the past. There's certain things that they can't do this year, like they did them in past years. But they can be better than they were in that game in certain respects. One of them being like run defense. They can do that better. They can tackle better. They can have better footwork and completing some of the passes, right? So take me into practice or this week of practice as a team leader coming off of that game, because if you correct the things that are correctable, your goals are still on the table.
I mean, so that's the biggest thing. You preaching, man. Hey, we only lost 2. I mean, the season's not over. If you went out, we're still in the conversation, So I think that's the biggest thing. You went out and you handle what you got to handle. You control what you could control, and I think that's the biggest thing for them. Is like that was what I would say. Hey, man, it's only 2. We only dropped 2, and I think all the goals that we still want is still in front of us. We just got to lock in and focus up. And so that means now we got to start watching more film. We got to be more detailed. I think that's the biggest thing for the defense. They got to get more detailed, man. It just don't seem like they're detailed and they're doing the things that they need to do. It's like, it's crazy. But I will say this, though. Here's the crazy thing about it. You don't have those 2 first rounders in the middle no more.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And so that's the big difference.
It is.
When you have 2 first rounders and real impactful players, like, it's hard to come by
no doubt
2 first rounders. And so like that makes a whole team look totally different, because now the middle of the pile is not being pushed, the quarterback not being pushed, where the edge guys can go off and just do their thing. So like when you had KG and Mason Graham lead, those guys are special. And not saying the guys that we have now are not special, but those guys were first rounders. And not too many people could say they had 2 first rounders playing right along with each other. So like that's a big thing. But then now I think the defense got to say, hey, we got to get more detail, because we're going to see this more often. Every team that come in town going to run this play. They're going to run these counters. They're going to run these gap plays, because our ends are rushing up to the field too much.
Yeah.
And they're just getting kicked out.
Yeah.
I mean,
man.
Like that's the honest truth. So now, what are you gonna do? And me as a leader, I was like, what are we gonna do to change this thing? And it's nothing the coach could do. It's nothing. It's not a coaching problem. This is the leader said, hey, we got to take it upon ourselves.
Well, here's where it becomes on the coach. If you got a guy who won't do it, you got to get a guy in there who will.
But what I'm saying is, the players have to lead this thing first,
mm-hmm.
and then hey, he's not doing okay. All right, now the coach will become that will become a factor now. But I think the players got to say, hey, we're gonna take it upon ourselves, like, because a lot of these guys are older. Like, this is part of their last round on college stadium, or college field. So it's like you might be saying, all right, I'm going to the league next year because you're a senior or whatever. Now you got to be the guy saying, hey, we got to do whatever it takes for us to win, and we got to be more detailed and more sound.
Yeah. So your point, I think, we're for the coaches, the detail part of it. So that means the emphasis. They got it. That got to be the emphasis in practice, and then it's got to be like, okay, so who's gonna give me that?
Exactly what I
who's gonna do exactly what I tell them to do on this play?
Right.
If you can't do what I tell you to do on this play every time, that means fitting it how I tell you to fit it,
mm-hmm.
as physically as we need you to play it.
Right.
Then the next guy, because that's the thing,
mm-hmm.
they may not have the kind of talent to rush the passer like they've rushed the passer in the past with 4, or play on the back end, man to man, as much as they played in the past. But they got enough big bodies and enough talent in the front 7 to be a good run defense.
For sure.
If they play assignment sound and physical.
Yes.
That there's no excuse to play the kind of run defense they played on Saturday. Especially when that's been, when it comes to fitting gap runs, when that issue is kind of showing up in every game.
Right.
They got to be better. So that means, hey, practice this week, some hitting, some assignments. And if,
for sure.
If guys aren't giving it to me, I got to get the next guy in.
You got to go be more physical. And I like now more than ever, we got to be more physical at practice now, because I mean USC took it to us a little bit. Like watching that game, I thought there was a more physical team.
In the middle of the season,
you got to go. Yeah. Because why not? And if you don't start doing it more in practice, when you gonna do it? You think it's gonna happen on Saturdays? It's not gonna happen like that. You gotta start doing it at practice. You gotta start being more physical now at practice, because it's no way you're just gonna wake up and say on Saturday, we're gonna be more physical today.
I know, and I'm not saying I disagree. I'm asking the question to say that they will really do that.
And I say this,
and we got to carry this into the overtime.
Okay.
So that carries us to the end of this show. You want to carry over the conversation with us? Come with us on the YouTube page, over on the Facebook channel, over on the Twitter channel. The MichiganInsider.com will have it as well. We thank you for listening to us here on the Michigan Insider on the Big 1050 and over on the Big1050.com.
Clear on the radio. Time for OT.
All right, folks. If you have questions for Lace, start getting them in now. If you have questions for Lace, start getting them in now. And I'll let you finish that thought you were talking about, as we get into practice, what they need to be doing.
So it was funny because I was talking to Al Borges last night, Coach Borges. I always call him Coach Borges. I can't call him Al, just a respect thing. But I was talking to Coach Borges last night, and we was talking, and he was like, "Hey, Denard, like." It was funny because I know me and him never really talked candidly about like how they came and turned the team around a little bit. So he was like, because I don't think it would have been smart for him to say this to me, like, hey, your rushes and passes gonna go down this year, but our time on offense would be more time on offense. And so just by us huddling and running the ball more and just doing how they did it. But I would say this, the thing that they brought to us was we was being physical. We would pass almost every day with when Brady Hoke came. And that changed the identity of our football team because we had to hit. And granted, Rich Rod, he had all the quarterbacks live in practice in springs. In spring practice, we were live. And so that was one thing that made us kind of a little bit physical. The quarterbacks, we was live in spring practice, and so nobody was exempt from getting hit. And I think that helped me out and helped Devin and helped Tate, because that means we knew how to take hits and we knew how to run the ball a certain way. So just being physical in practice is always going to be best for a team that need to be more physical. But if a team's already physical, then you don't need to do it as much. But I think now you got to rev it up. Just give me 2 days out the week for a pass, and let's get more physical again. Let's be gritty. Let's be that team that we know we are. I think that's the biggest thing right now. They got to get back to being gritty, because there's no way USC came in and beat us at our own game.
All right, let's start getting to the questions. If you have questions for Denard, get them in. Denard, Shoelace, Robinson. Let's start knocking down the super chats first, because I always appreciate our super chatters. Super chat, Flex Fit says, Sam, just want to say how much I appreciate you and what you stand for. Thank you, my man. Hey, I bring Lace to y'all because Lace is us with the great analysis. So it ain't me, that's Lace. That's Lace. I appreciate Lace for being with us.
I appreciate you, Sam. Appreciate you.
All right. So DJ Sin City. So talk about how USC's quick game killed us then. The run was secondary to the quick passing game. DJ Sin City. So Lace, that quick game did kill us, but let's get into that.
The quarterback did a great job getting the balls out of hand. I think they didn't want Barham to be disruptive, like because they know if he got off the edge and him and Derek Moore came off the edge, it was going to be a long night for them. But how you beat the rush? Quick game, getting the ball out your hands quick And then the run was complimenting it. So
right.
they're getting the ball out and they kill
right.
it.
So here's the thing. I think, and you saw this with the Lions last night too. I thought that part of the game was excellent, no doubt, that they knew that Michigan was going to be getting upfield. It was a quick game and screens. Michigan was going to be getting upfield, get the ball out quick. I think if Michigan had been in better position more times, they might have risked playing a little more man to try to disrupt a little more of that. They are not a good zone football team. They could stand to tighten up as far as their zone awareness. They're a spot drop team. I'm not convinced that they're ever going to be a really proficient zone team because it's just my personal opinion that the best zone teams are pattern match teams. That, if you see a great, like Michigan had been a great zone team. Over the past few years. Great zone team.
Technicians. They
now, I'm talking about when in the elementary years, they were a great zone team. They were a pattern match team. I don't think I haven't seen a great zone team be a spot drop team. Right. And it's fine to have that strategy. Okay. It's a simpler strategy. These guys can have just because you drop to an area doesn't mean you just drop to an area and like Will Heinegger was just saying, you just play air. Like you need to have some zone awareness.
Okay, this is the route that's going to be in this area.
Yeah, like what's coming to air, so they can do a better job. But to me, Michigan's remedy, their more likely remedy is they're gonna be a little more aggressive, playing a little more man, and people are going to have to be tolerant of the risks that come with that. That, hey, they're going to maybe give up a few more big plays. Like what they're saying right now is, we aren't going to give up any big plays. Are you seeing any big plays getting over the top? They ain't giving them no big plays. They say they're keeping everything in front of them, which I'm cool with right now. But you know what you got to do if that's going to be your strategy? You got to stop the run.
Yeah, you got to stop it.
You can't stop the run sometime. You got to stop it all the time.
You got to tackle.
Every time. And you got to be in position all the time, every time.
Yeah.
It's non-negotiable. You've got to be a great run defense. And they have the ingredients to be a great run defense. That's why I'm harping on it so much.
Right.
Like, you got the personnel to do that.
For sure.
You got the experience to do that.
Yeah, you got the linebackers. You got the front seven is intact.
Right. And
not bad.
And the way that they're playing, like what they're saying, their strategy is saying teams aren't going to go 10, 11 play drives. As people are getting all caught up. Look at how open the middle of the field is. Yes, they could tighten up more. I get that. But what they're saying is we're going to get some negative plays. We're going to put them behind the sticks, and we're going to be able to get off the field more. Teams are going to go 11, 12 play drives on them.
Right.
Okay, that means you're stopping the run. Well, against the good teams, if you aren't fitting gap runs, they're going to get these kinds of drives. And USC exploited that.
Oh, for sure.
So that's why I'm saying, again, for the 100th time, if we fool ourselves by looking at the statistics from the first 5 games and saying, hey, it's just an anomaly. They just didn't tackle well in this game. True, they didn't tackle well. But if we just look at that and don't look at the big picture and say, hey, they aren't fitting these runs well. And look at a couple of games here moving forward. And if they get good statistics in those games and not pay attention, if they don't fix this, all the good teams are going to have good rushing statistics against them.
For sure.
They got to fix this.
They got to fix it now.
Because if they do, Lace, I'm going to come back to it. If they fix this, if they stop the run, they can beat every team left. They can. I'm telling you they can.
Right. If
they emphasize and fix this.
They have to. I mean, this is a non-negotiable. You have to fix this because that's not something that like our identity, like you just said, that's our identity. It's a part of it. And you got to make the plays. You got to make the plays. You got to be in your gap. You got to be sound. You got to be where you're supposed to be at. And it's not It's no questions asked. You have to do it. It's just what it is.
This is a good question. I know we're on Monday Morning Quarterback right now, but Chris Kenner says, why is it not getting fixed? We can only speculate right now. What's your speculation on the matter?
See, that's a good question. I don't know. I don't know.
I could only speculate. This is just pure.
You gotta go with that one. I don't like.
So it's tough, man. It's tough. I think that you can maybe get lulled to sleep into thinking that it's not as big an issue as it really is, because statistically
it haven't showed up in stats.
It hasn't shown up in the stats.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're doing pretty well as far as the stats say.
Yeah, but this game kind of showed stats show that you wasn't doing what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, the stats just blow it up. Now you gotta be brutally honest.
Right.
Like you gotta look at the tape and be like, okay, wow, and then go back and ignore the stats from the first several games and say, okay, well, these same things are kind of showing up in these games. Now let's revisit this and say this is an issue, and maybe that wasn't being emphasized as much. So now let's emphasize this, because they also weren't facing it as much in practice. Right. So as much as Michigan is a team that runs counter and power, that's not what they weren't doing that as much in practice.
Right.
In fall camp, they were running a lot of what Chip was putting in. He was putting in outside zone, RPO stuff. There's a lot of stuff that he's doing now with great, efficiency. And so they weren't necessarily seeing it as much. That maybe that contributes to it as well. Yeah. I'm speculating, but these can all be factors that lead to, hey, you aren't squeezing these plays and fitting these plays as effectively as maybe you did in the past.
Oh man, see, and I think that's the biggest thing. I think some USC probably seen it somewhere on tape. They had to. And because they kept going to it, they went to they was going to the well, and I think they lived in it. And so now other teams going to see the same thing and say, "Hey, we could do this to you, and can you stop it?" Because I think now Washington will probably use some of those runs that USC did and do it with the quarterback to say, "Okay, we could run the same run with the quarterback." And that's adding another blocker to the mix. So now this guy got an extra blocker, and now you really got to be gap sound, because now it's an extra blocker, and that means they got more hats. They got a hat for a hat. So now you're gonna have to really play ball and be where you're supposed to be at and where you're supposed to be. So I think now more than ever, those guys got to go say, hey, more details, and this fit, the run fits, and we got to be more sound on the back end. And if we're gonna run fit too, we got to help out. Got to get in there and make the tackle, get guys down. We got to make tackles, and I think that's the biggest thing for us. We got to start making tackles and being more sound with these things.
Yeah, that gets to your point about being physical. You got to hit in practice right now, that's a tightrope act for coaches, because you're trying to stay healthy too, but you might not have. To your point, you're saying, well, you're gonna get better at it. You got to practice it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying take them down. We're not. You got thud. We got thud. At least thud. We got to take you to the ground, but we got to at least know you're thudding. You're stopping the runner. The runner is stopped. He's no longer a threat. And so you got to make sure his feet is stopped at all times. I think that's what I'm saying. So I ain't saying you got to take him down to the ground, but it better be a good thud. So everybody know that's in that room. Hey, he was down. You got him. We don't need no tagging off. We need thud. Like that. I've been around guys in the NFL that did that. Like, hey, we need to do a little bit more of this, because we're not making these tackles. So y'all we're gonna thud it up. Like make sure it's thud, and we feeling it. He knows he's down. I think that's the biggest thing with becoming physical and staying physical.
Jill Gratch makes a great point. Said, and this is it seems like we always have a hard time when offenses go up tempo as well. I think that's every defense. If they're going,
yeah, for sure. Here's the thing, and USC did a good job of like they don't always do. They haven't showed that so often on So when you surprise a team with it, of course it's gonna be surprising because you didn't know they had it in their game. Like that's for anybody, and that's up tempo. But if you up tempo us and we get 3 and outs, then the defense on the field too long. Now your defense, you leave your defense out there. So, but they had success doing it, and our guys got to get used to playing against that because they're gonna probably see it again, and that's the problem with like somebody seeing some weakness in your armor.
Mm-hmm.
So now you got to get prepared for what people see that your weakness is.
John Walls brings up a great point. He said, the thing not many are talking about is if we are still a ball control team, we need a punter that can kick the ball farther than 20 yards. That was a big factor in the game.
You got to be able to flip the field, man. Yeah. You got to be able to flip the field. That's the big thing, man. You got to be able to punt the ball, be able to flip the field. And I think we did a great job of doing for the last 4 or 5 years. We did a good job of having a good punter and being able to flip the field, making teams have to drive the whole field. And that give your defense a better chance and be like, okay, if we get a takeaway, it could be a touchdown, or we get a sack, fumble, we're right here.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to score, right? We're going to be in a position to be able to say, okay, if we don't score a touchdown, we at least can kick a field goal. So that's a big factor, and I think that's something that we can clean up. Definitely punting the ball.
Yeah. So Henry McElpine on Facebook says, we were so worried about the deep ball. Our cornerback was lined up about 10 yards off the ball, if not more, easily first downs. This is kind of like, 6 and 1/2 dozen others. You had initially fans like, oh, we're too aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
And now you got fans saying we're too passive. Yeah, they have taken the approach on the back end. We keeping everything in front.
Everything in front of us. And I think that's the defense. I think that's the way most teams that run this defense, that's what they do. They kind of keep everything in front of them, and we make tackles relative to the ball, probably strip the ball out. And I think that's what happens. But now your corner got to be he got to be able to take risks too, though.
Yeah.
You got it in front of you, got to be able to take risks. But, then now you be the set to the
deep ball.
The deep ball.
Yeah, it's going
to double moves.
Or double moves. Yeah.
Now if you're too aggressive, we running a hitch and go or a come back and go. And now you got a corner eyes in the backfield and they give him a little pump. Yeah. And now he's cooked.
Yeah, see, but again, I mean, it's playing into the strategy that I'm talking about. They're saying teams aren't going to be able to drive these long drives.
Yeah.
Stop the run and it makes sense. If you don't stop the run, yes, they are.
Now that you get things going still, yeah.
Right. So I think they're gonna get to the point where they mix it up. Remember, they're just getting their veteran corners back. This was the second game back for Zeke.
Mm-hmm.
Second game back for Caleb Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
Second game back for Rod.
Mm-hmm.
I think you will see them get more aggressive on the corner,
mm-hmm.
and they will throw some more man. I don't think they're gonna go and be like
man crazy.
Right. But they will mix it in. They'll get somewhat more aggressive on the corner. Right. But they're gonna keep everything in front on the edge, and I think posture is gonna be we're gonna make you drive the field,
mm-hmm.
and stop the run. I'm gonna keep coming back to that. I'm going to hammer that home. And because that is what they can be the best at. That is what the strength of this defense should be.
Right.
Is stopping the run. So that has got to improve. For them to be what they want to be this year
mm-hmm.
and achieve whatever their goals were, that's what has to happen for them to get there.
Right.
There's just no other way.
I think that's the truth. And you said it better than I could have ever said that, because I feel like you have to do it in order for. So okay, let me ask you this question. And I was thinking about this. Like, okay, realistic. Then how do you play when Ohio State come to town? How do you play them?
Right. And see, here's the thing. They are committed to, and they got the way that they're playing with their quarterback, they are running the football and playing off of that.
Yeah.
Like it's like they are playing like their quarterback is Cade McNamara. Now he's more talented than Cade.
Oh yeah.
But they're playing like they got Cade McNamara at quarterback.
Yeah. But that's what we could do Bryce some justice if we did that. Because I think he's more talented than Julian Singh. And if you kind of get into doing the same thing with him, you're gonna have more success.
All right, let's go back to the questions for Lace. DJ Sin City is back. He said, how was Klein targeted so much the first 2 weeks, but now non-existent? We need to scheme all games. Talking about Marsh, McCulley, and Klein.
Yeah, they shouldn't come off the game. Like if we personnel should always have those 3 guys in the game. I mean, that's why I thought Marlon was going to be more of a factor the rest of the season. But I don't know what's going on with that because I mean, but Marsh has stepped up in a big way. But I think the more you get Marlon up the seams and dig routes and just the big body over the, get him to be that target that he could on third down. Hey, this your safety net. Just get him the ball, find him. I think that could be a big thing for him. And I want to see more of Marlon. Like I told you, I wanted to see two tight ends, but Marlon is. I think Marlon is a big factor of it. He's got to get a certain amount of targets.
Yeah, tight ends block so much, man. I just feel like a wide delay would absolutely be open.
Oh, for sure. Now, but we got to find plays to make him the main target. Mm-hmm. Like you got to start giving. Let's make him be the first read on some of these plays. Because I think he deserved probably like 4 or 5 targets a game. That's not asking for too much, but that's giving your quarterback a good, nice size target. And that's a hard target to miss.
So I'm trying to get where this question is going from D Franks. He says RPOs, Bryce seems to be picking the throw more than pull and run. More than I think he says more than the give and the run, I think is what he meant to say.
Wait.
I think on the first play of the game to McCulley, I don't know if he's trying to say that Bryce is reading it wrong. But what do you how do you think Bryce is on RPOs just overall?
Oh, I think he do a good job with it. Yeah. I think he do a good job. I think he's very seldomly wrong. Like I don't think he's wrong like many times. I think he's been on point with this. I think he does that well. That's one thing. I think he do well in his game. I think he do a good job of knowing when to throw it and when not to throw it.
Yeah, I think RPOs are his comfort zone, man.
I think it's only one time that I think he pulled it, and that was the Oklahoma game.
But no, there were a couple. There were a couple in the last game. I'd say he probably grades out in the high 80s or 90s.
That's what I'm saying. Like
there were a couple. There were 2 I remember vividly in the last game. One where he threw a bubble that he shouldn't have thrown because the guy went with the motion. He shouldn't have thrown that. And then there was one where he gave it and and the running back got blasted. He should have pulled it. But other than that, every RPO he did right.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's not like that's one of the part of his game that I think he's good at already. He's pretty on point with that. I think a couple times you want him to pull it, a couple times, but it's like those plays happen sometimes. But I will say after that, he gotta start doing better at the fake afterwards. Like if you're gonna give it, go give me a fake, go give me a run out burst off the give. Go give us extra things off that.
Mm-hmm. This is a good question.
For sure.
So DJ said, what's the point of running zone if there's no threat for him to keep it, if he hasn't kept the ball on the zone read all season? I think he's kept the ball on the zone read.
I feel like he did.
I think he's kept the ball on the zone read, but I'll come back to what I said before.
There need to be more of it. That's what I think. I think I agree with you, DJ. I think they just need to put that more in there. And I think they need to have tight end or Ben Bredesen being his lead blocker off the read. Let him read it and have a guy in front of him blocking. I think that's going to be a big factor for him. Let him read it in, and then you have an extra blocker. So now he's protected, and now you got a hat for a hat, and we're ready to go.
Yeah. So here's Michigan hasn't run much split zone that I can see, but if they run split zone, then the bluff zone is there. Then the bluff zone is there. Because now we in business because he either got a lead blocker or a dude that he could just, he
go to the flat.
He could go to the flat.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we got a two-way go. We in business with a play.
Yeah.
And it's gonna work. It's gonna work.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I hope they put it in. It's gotta already be in the playbook. I hope they run it sometime soon. Let's see. Let's see the next one for Denard. French Toast says, I know Jaden isn't the starter, but with Bryce getting hurt in the game. Oh, Bryce's ankle got rolled up on. He says, it worries me. How do you think Jaden looks with the few snaps he's had?
I mean, I don't judge people off a couple of snaps. I need to see the body of work. I need to see him in the game. I need to see, is he going to be on time? Like, is he going to be on time with the ball? Because at the end of the game, you kind of like, it's the end of the game. Guys might not be going as hard as they're supposed to be. The game is probably over, So, like, I need to see Jaden play in the beginning of the game and see what I could, see what he got. Because I think I recruited him. So I was a part of his recruitment. I think he got some talent, and I think he can make some plays. I think he's going to be able to play one day. Just it's going to be some time, but I think Jaden got some stuff that I think he got some talent. And when I see him throw the ball before, I see him release the ball, I see him be on time with the ball, I see him do so many different things. So just watching him. And I think he's one of those guys that's growing. You can see it. So I have confidence in him. So if he has a start, we'll see what happens. I think he can play ball. So he was a 5-star, right, Sam?
He was a 4-star.
He was a 4-star.
He was a 5-star one time.
Okay,
that's like sophomore, but he wound up being a 4-star guy.
Okay, so but like he still had some talent, and he could throw the ball. Shoot, he threw the ball around the yard when he was in high school. So I think he can still do that. That's something that you don't lose. It's like riding a bike. So I got faith in him, and like that kid is special. Like I seen him handle certain situations, and the way he handled it, I was like, man, I'm impressed by him. Even now, like he's cheering Bryce on and being an extra set of eyes for him. Because after every drive, you see him go up to Bryce and tell him, hey, this is what I seen. What did you see? Whatever. So I think he's going to be special because I think he's a special leader. Watching him and seeing how he's grown as through these years.
Yep. All right. Let's get to the next one for Denard. John Wall said, "Can we see a slant and one crossing route?" We see both wide receivers are open on the touchdown.
Facts. I mean, it's going to be more crossing routes. I think more crossing routes with the play action. I think that's going to be the thing. He's going to have to poke the ball in there, ride the running back a little long, because that now they got the guys, the safeties, eyes in the backfield, and these wide receivers running right past them, and our receivers could run. Like watching those guys this weekend, I didn't know how fast they were until I seen them doing the things they did this weekend, and so now I know they can separate from guys. Now I know they can run past guys. And it's kind of cool to see that because, for a long time, people felt like last year we couldn't get any separation. We didn't have, last year. But this year you can see the difference. You can see these guys can run away from guys, jump over guys, and make crazy plays after they catch the ball. So it's kind of cool to see these guys, be special.
Good question from AJ Southward. He said, Sam, Denard, is it realistic that they could win the rest of their games in the regular season? Is that realistic?
For sure. Only team I think, Washington is going to be a threat. I think though that this game right here is going to be one of those games that's going to tell us if we could really win out the rest of these games. Because if you stop this young quarterback, that's this phenomenal player, and he's one of those guys that, you know, I always like a dual threat quarterback. I love dual threat quarterbacks, and watching him against Rutgers made me understand like this kid could be, you know, a Heisman Trophy winner one day if he continue on that type of path. So that's going to tell us about the defense. Can they fix those corrections of the little details of being in the run fit? You know what I'm saying, Sam? So like understand like can they stop these lanes for this quarterback running the ball or that running back, because they have a decent running back too over there. And so when you have that type of guys, like if you don't brush up on that defense and make sure the details are right and be gap sound and be where you're supposed to be at when you're supposed to be there, that's going to show us a lot this weekend.
Yeah. So AJ, it's not realistic if they don't improve the run defense.
Yeah, the run defense. Yeah.
Like, you know, it is just it's non-negotiable. Being a great run defense for them to achieve their goals is non-negotiable. They have to be a great run defense.
So Sam, do you think they could be that?
See,
team?
and that's the thing, but I think they can be. So it's a matter, to me, it's a matter of emphasis. It's a matter of that's got to be a huge amount of their focus in practice this week. To the extent that Washington's not going to run the football on us. They might pass for 300 yards. They ain't gonna run.
We won't do anything else.
If we don't do nothing else, they are not gonna run the football on us.
You can't get it at all. Don't even.
They ain't gonna run the football on us.
Okay.
And they got a good running back.
That's what I'm saying.
But you have the ability with the talent on this team to stop the run.
But okay.
But again, you have guys who have been out of position, you have positions, because it'd been different guys at different positions that have been out of position.
Right.
You have guys who have not played their positions physically enough at times. You have combinations of the two. That will not do.
It's not.
And so my reason for saying that is you have the personnel to do this job better. So do it better. And the guys who are, if they aren't doing it better, then next man up. Because you got enough bodies, you got enough options. If this guy can't do it, then somebody else can. Let's rotate another guy. We're gonna find the right combination of guys to do this. And you know what we aren't gonna do? If you aren't gonna do it, we ain't gonna rotate. Because see, we rotate a lot. We rotate a lot of guys in. You know what we not gonna do? If we aren't gonna get the job done right, we ain't gonna be doing all this rotating. We gonna play the guys who gonna do the job right. Because Vance put it this way. He said, because guess what? What starts to happen when the job keeps getting done wrong is people don't point at you. They point at me. And they start to say, oh, you ain't doing your job, coach.
Coach, yeah. That's how.
And they start to say,
fired.
you ain't doing your job, coach. Guess what needs to happen? You need to go somewhere else, coach.
Yeah.
And then guess what started to happen? My wife started to say, we need to go somewhere else. And then and then Van said, my wife started saying, oh, you don't love me?
Oh, so we got
to move. You don't love me? So Van said, so they must not love their wives. And so Van said, I love my wife. I love my wife. So I'm going to play. Who's going to make sure my wife know I love her?
Yeah.
I'm with Vance on that.
Oh, for sure.
I'm with Vance on that.
For sure.
It all boils down to, to be serious about it for a moment. I know the guys who are playing can play better than they played.
Oh, for sure.
But I think you got to send that message. Like, listen, fellas, that's not going to do. Like, you can play better than that. And if you can't, hey, it's a big boy business. We got to play the guys who are going to do this right every time. Because this is where we can be best.
Well, the standard is the standard.
Yeah, this is, you got certain potential on defense. when it comes to your aptitude and what when you talk about you get certain grades, like, you're grading a player, what's your arm talent, your speed, your jumping ability. There's certain things you can do better than others.
Right.
Well, run defense is what this defense is most capable of doing.
Right.
You have got to do that at its peak. You have got to be great at that. You can't afford to be average, let alone bad. You got to be great at that. Non-negotiable. Got to fix that right here, right now, this week, starting with Washington. And so to answer your question, AJ, if they do that, then yes, they can win their remaining games. Right. If they don't, the answer is no.
So let me ask you this question. Is the offense, so if can the offense outscore teams? It's my question I want to ask.
So you talking about like in a
if we had to go in the shootout against Ohio State.
So within certain parameters, not if they get down. Not if you're down a couple of scores.
So if they down 14, you don't think they're ready to shoot out?
No. It has to be a certain context. Their run game has to be still on the table. So it always has to be like a one-score game where they aren't playing from behind, where Bryce isn't in the pocket and teams can pin their ears back. And, it's a throw. It can't be that kind of game. They got to be able to play their game at a certain pace. Now, I'm not talking about time. I'm talking about a certain pace where, hey, we're playing the game with our run game on the table. Our playbook is what we want it to be, not what they want it to be. That's how they can play in a back and forth scoring game, but not where they're down 2-3 scores. They ain't coming back from that. Ain't happening. So that's what it is, man. That's what it is.
At least you kept it a buck, man. You kept it 100. That was the truth. I mean, because I was wondering that. And like when we got down, I was like, do we have the team to be able to come back to this one?
No, they get down to a couple of scores against a team like that. It's over. It's over. Nope.
Dang.
Nope. No.
Oh, that's a hard pill to swallow right now, man.
This is what it is right now.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back to the next one.
But it's so true, though. It's so true. Can we get in the shootout and go blow for blow? I think that's one of the ones that you're right. If they get down by 14, it's going to be tough for them to come back.
So Flex Fit says, well, I know we went long. We need to hustle through. How much of Bryce's footwork issues is a symptom of not trusting the offensive line? If so, how do you help him trust it more?
Show him the film. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, not to be funny, but yeah, just watch the film. Like, you watch the film, the play that he threw to Marlon Klein, he didn't need to move much. I think that's about being able to, like, hey, trust the field and trust the film. The film, eye in the sky don't lie. So once you see the guys are protecting you, you gotta be able to say, they gave me a clean pocket. I gotta make the right steps and right moves. So that's the biggest thing. That's something that you can show him. Hey, just look at it, and we get in practice. Look at this. Like we showing you this practice film, these practice clips. Your O-line protecting you. You gotta understand they're gonna protect them. But sometimes, I say this sometimes. They do gotta block two of the top defensive ends in the country. I think in practice. So when in practice, he probably getting a lot of rush from those guys in practice, and so it kind of muddy the water sometimes when you got guys like that on your team. Like I've been around Brandon Graham when I was a freshman, and he could destroy practice. When we went to the point where we couldn't get anything done because Brandon Graham was destroying practice because he wanted to say nobody could block me, and he made it clear sometimes. And so when you have that in practice, sometimes it messes you up. But I think the biggest thing is saying, hey, watching the film, turn the film on. Hey, look at what the O-line is doing for you. Look at this. They're blocking for you. You got to take your time and trust it. Trust the process and get used to feeling the rush. I think that's the biggest thing. Just let him get used to feeling the rush and understand that his O-line is going to block for him. And I think they did a good job blocking for him. What you think in the drop back game? I think
I thought they were better.
The pocket wasn't muddy at all from my perspective of it. Watching the film yesterday and watching the game on Saturday, the pocket wasn't the problem. It's just about now he's got to start trusting that situation.
Yeah, I thought they were better. I do think they were better until the game got out of hand and it was clear. Right. Let's go to the next one. We only have time for a few more. Let's see. Let's see. Here's one from Lama Bryant. Question for Lace. On the forced interception to Donovan McCulley when Samaj was wide open, do you believe Bryce has lost confidence in Samaj? Is this detrimental to the team's passing success?
Oh man, no. I think you get close to the goal line. You start liking a particular receiver.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what happened. He got close to the goal line, and when you're in those type of situations, you want to go to your guy. I think McCullum is his guy, and I think him and Samaj, they boys. I think they grew up around each other a little bit. So like that's. I don't think that's the problem. I think it's you get into those situations and you go to the guy that you're familiar with. He's gonna probably make a play for you. He's not gonna put you in bad trouble. But in that particular play, he didn't win on the route. My opinion. Do you think he won on the route? I don't think he won on that route.
He did not.
So now you got to come off of it and go to the next guy. So I think that's the biggest thing. He got to come off of it. But sometimes and on the goal line, things happen faster. And so you think it's gonna happen too fast, but no, you just come off of it and go to the next guy. That's the biggest thing. Just take what the defense give you. And I think that's the coaching point on that situation is, hey, look, the film, you should have came off that guy. He didn't run a good route. He didn't win on the route. I wouldn't say he didn't run a good route. He didn't win on the route. So now go to the next guy, man.
Yeah. All right. Only a couple more. Let's see. Says Barham needs to get back to linebacker depth a lot more. And he fit the run great there. That's gonna be an interesting one. I think what they need to do is they need to figure out are his linebacker snaps, the quality of his linebacker snaps as good as the quality of his edge snaps. Because listen, there have been some issues with his run fits, but it's not like the run fits were always great before he moved to edge. Now he does need to some work.
He got to
clean up.
Yeah, he got to clean up things, and I think he give you more at the edge than he give you at backer.
Okay,
my opinion. That's just my opinion. I think he's a and now he got to get used to run fitting from the edge. My opinion.
Oh yeah, there's no question he got to get.
So that's the biggest thing, because we know you can rush the quarterback. Now can you start saying the run fit? I could.
That's the point.
So
and if he can't, then you might be better off playing him at linebacker, and then situationally maybe you come out there.
Third down alone, you go down. Now you go rush the quarterback.
But it was the third down. That touchdown was the third down, wasn't it? I think it was the third. I think it was the third down.
I think they did it on purpose, though.
Yeah. I think it was the third down. If I'm not mistaken, I have to go back and look and see.
I think it was too.
But anyway, Denard from Lama Bryant. Do you think play action is still effective when U of M is behind double digits and Justice Haynes is not the running back?
Oh yes, yes. I think it's gonna always be a factor when you got, because Marsh is people forget how good he played against Alabama last year. Like that kid could be special, and he showed when it was Nebraska game. He showed up and did his thing. Like he's one of those guys that I think he's still. There's not much drop off from him from Justice Haynes. It's not much drop off. If it is any. So I think he's one of those guys that's pretty damn good too. Like he's showing that as a young guy, get him the ball. Let's put the load on his back a little bit. Let's let him run a little bit. he might take on a little bit more of a load. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah. All right, folks, we have gone super overtime and giving you a lot of extra. I know we had another super chat in here that I wanted to get in, and I know that we've gotten this question quite a bit. This one comes from David Pruitt and Lace. How do they hit in practice without risking more injuries like we've seen all year?
Football is going to be, I mean, nobody at this point, nobody's healthy. Like at this point in the season, nobody's healthy because you're going to have nicks and bruises. You're going to have them. And that's a part of the game. But now you need to start building calluses. You need to start building calluses so you could be ready to take these things on. Like you got to be physical. And you got to have at least one day out the week to be physical and be more aggressive. Like that's just what happens with football. You have to have at least 1 or 2 days of practice where it's physical and you're hitting, because the more you build those calluses, the better you are as a team on Saturdays and Sundays.
Yep. And then to round things out, Chad Jackson says, Sam, being a Michigan's running team, shouldn't the DB learn how to fit their gaps, practicing against their own team by now? Again, I'll reiterate, in fall camp, I don't think that they, what they were running at the time, what they practiced a lot was the stuff that Chip was putting in.
Uh-huh.
And, a lot of what he was putting in, a lot of RPO stuff, outside zone, kind of stressing the things that they hadn't been doing.
Yes.
And so because of that,
they didn't get to see the counter.
I don't think they saw as much counter and power and duo as they saw. Now I'm speculating that contributes to what we're seeing.
For sure.
Do I know that? I don't. And then you add to that the fact that statistically, again, I'm speculating, statistically, first 5 games will tell you that run defense has been pretty good.
Yep.
Now, I will tell you that if you watch us, we've been saying every week, I don't care what the stats say.
They got to stop.
They got an issue with fitting gap runs.
Yep.
And we've been telling you every week.
Right.
And we aren't being negative. We're giving you constructive criticism. We aren't ragging on anybody.
Nope.
Somebody was, when we were talking about the offensive line last week, we weren't being negative. And we were actually complimenting Chip for doing a great job of taking the pressure off the line and making it be like, okay, the line actually making it look like the line played really well when actually they struggled, but he took the pressure off of them with the way that he called the game as the game went on. Like that was an issue. Well, they had problems fitting gap runs all season long. This has actually been the worst of it though, because this team really exploited it as a great run team. Lace, it's been a great one, man.
Yeah. Oh, I got to ask you a question.
Shoot.
What do you think about the firing of Penn State coach?
I think that it, I didn't think he was going to make it through the season.
Really?
I did not.
So
we're going to miss that guy.
I thought he was going to be gone after the UCLA game for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying like before the season started, you felt.
Oh, no. I mean, he had a 10-year contract. They just signed the Jim Knowles with all of that money too. I thought they were just content with throwing all that money at the problem, thinking it was going to be fine because he was beating all the teams that he should beat, and he had figured out a formula to lose to the big teams and still be playoff relevant. Right? Well, now he's losing to the teams that he should beat. It was over once he lost to UCLA. It was already over. And then when he lost to Northwestern, so you can't even make it to the end of the season. But James is like, I'm fine because you still owe me, I think it's $49 million, and there's no offset language. So that means he could go get another job, get paid by them, and still get paid by Penn State too.
Really?
So he's gonna get 2 checks.
Oh, he double dipping.
So they got to pay him $9-10 million a year, whatever it is, and then he's gonna get whatever, $6, $7, $8 million from whatever other job he gets.
Yeah, but I think, and I told, it's funny because me and Devin, we had a conversation, and I was like, Devin, Penn State got a national championship team, and Devin said, not with James Franklin as the head coach, and I was like, damn. He's like that. He said they can have all the talent they want, but he can't win the big games. And he was spot on.
Ah, man,
that's spot on. And because I told him, I was like, that team looks like the team that could win a national championship. And just because the way they carried, the way they was the makeup of the team, like the 2 running backs, the good, I don't want to say great quarterback, good quarterback. I thought they had a chance, but then you do this and you lose against UCLA. But UCLA beat Michigan State pretty good though.
Yeah. Well, Michigan State's not good. So
but that like that though, the fashion
I didn't expect them to be able to beat them like that. No.
The fashion they beat them.
And I think Michigan State's players are giving up. So, but again, let's go back as we get to a break. This is a pivotal week for Michigan.
Yes.
And let's close. I want you to close with this, Lace, like leaders on the team, coaches setting the tone in practice. You just talked about Michigan State, Penn State. Like it can get worse than what it is right now if you let it.
Yes. Don't let it be the snowball effect, because as that snowball go downhill and get momentum, we need to be going uphill, walking uphill. And as a leader on the team, you guys gotta take this team. This is all about the players right here. You guys got to come in and dig deep, because y'all. This team is pretty special. This team's not a bad team. I think this team could be fighting for playing in the Big Ten championship, playing for the playoffs. I think this is the type of team we have. But it's gonna take the players to say, hey, let's lock in. Let's be gap sound. Let's be small detail oriented. Let's do all the small things right and win this game, like win out. I think that's the biggest thing. That's the talk that these guys got to have with each other, is being able to say, hey, let's lock in. Let's finish this season the right way.
This is a great one, man. Adam says, appreciate what y'all do on Mondays. Always nice to hear from the man that made me a fan to begin with. I think we can turn it around. This game didn't seem to be what we've seen this season.
Right. And that's spot on, Adam. Spot on.
That's a great way to close out this edition of the Monday Morning Quarterback with Denard Shoelace Robinson. We appreciate y'all joining us. We'll see you next time on the next edition of the Monday Morning Quarterback.